So now I'm writing the additional features of perfectly competitive market. I hope you have understood, guys. All means a perfectly competitive market has these three features plus few more, right? The next is all the sellers charge the same price of the product. All the sellers charge the same price of the product, right? They do not charge different price. Now, why they do not charge different price? Because if one seller charges more than others, then he will lose all his customers, right? And if one charges lesser than others, then he would be selling the product either at cost or at lesser than cost, that is at a loss. It means in this market, margin, profit margin with sellers is very thin. It's very thin. So if they charge lesser than what others are charging of their product, it means they are actually sacrificing with their otherwise also thin margins, which no seller would like, right? They might be selling, if they do so, they might be selling the product, the commodity at cost price or at below cost price. And that is why all the sellers charge the same price. Am I clear? But before that, I should also write one thing, that is all consumers have full market of the information, have full information of the market. It means, guys, that consumers know well as where a particular commodity is available at a lesser price and where it is available at a higher price. Obviously, they will go to for the lesser price only. It means the one who is charging higher price would not be able to sell at all. Am I clear?
Yes, yes.
Similarly, all producers or sellers also have full information of the market. They know which seller is selling at what price and how much quantity he has. हर seller को दूसरे seller की information है, right? The next point, guys, is there is no transportation cost at all. It means whether a seller is selling a commodity in Palasia, right, or in Vijayanagar, or in Bhavarkua Square, they all are selling the commodity at the same price. Because if there is transportation cost, then sellers will be charging more if they have to incur more transportation cost to carry the goods, to get the goods at their point of sale. That is why this assumption is considered here, that there is no transportation cost at all. So even though sellers are scattered at different places, they all incur the same cost of purchase or same cost of production. Are you asking anything, Avi? The next one is there is no advertisement expenses incurred by any seller. This assumption ensures that cost of sales for every seller is same. Now guys, about price, so all the sellers sell the commodity at the same price. They actually are price takers and not price makers. Means in this market, no seller can decide the price himself. The price is decided by the forces of demand and supply, right? Which we have seen in market equilibrium chapter as how price is fixed. So here in perfectly competitive market, the market decides the price of the commodity and not any individual seller. Why? Because I can decide price of my product only when my product is different from that of others. But if it is absolutely same, then I cannot decide the price because all the sellers are also selling the absolutely same product. So whatsoever is the price of the market, that price I have to accept. And this is how in this market all the sellers are only price takers and not price makers, right? I cannot charge a higher price than what others are charging because if I do so, I will lose all my customers because customers have full information of the market. If I charge a price lesser than what others are charging, then I would be charging, then I would be selling the commodity either at cost or at below cost, means at a loss because the profit margins in this market are very thin. I hope you have understood, guys. This is asked in exam. This is one of the
Yes.
questions which is frequently asked in exam as why in perfectly competitive market sellers or producers are price takers and not price makers. So this is what you have to answer. They are price takers and not price makers because they themselves cannot decide the price. Why? Because they do not have any unique thing in their product. They do not have any additional feature in their product. They are selling the same commodity which others are selling, absolutely same. So if they charge higher price, they will lose all the customers towards their competitors. Now, since they all are selling the commodity the same commodity, they are actually selling it with very thin profit margin. Because if you try to increase your profit margin by increasing price of your product, you will lose all your customers immediately. I hope you have understood, guys, this point.
So,
Yeah.
but if we lesser the price, then all the customers will be on our side.
Right, but if you decrease the price, you see you have very thin profit margin. For example, your cost is rupees 10 and your selling price is let's say 10.5 or rupees 11. This is how what happens in this market. So everyone is selling at rupees 11. You are and the cost of the product to you is 10. If you decrease it by 50 paise, then ultimately you only would be sacrificing with your profit margin, which is otherwise also very thin. It is not the market where something of rupees 10 is sold at rupees 15 or at 20 or at 15. No, it is not that market because you do not have anything unique in your product. I hope you have understood, Imanshi.
Yes, sir.
right? So that is what I'm writing, guys, what I just explained you. Look at here, guys. Here I have explained this point which Himanshi asked. The price is fixed by the market with the overall forces of demand and supply. The price is fixed with very thin profit margin. प्रॉफिट मार्जिन बहुत कम रखा जाता है, क्योंकि अगर प्रॉफिट मार्जिन ज्यादा हुआ इसके मतलब आपके पास ज्यादा चांस है प्राइस को कम करने के। अगर 10 रुपए की चीज को 10 रुपए की कॉस्ट की चीज को 20 रुपए का सेलिंग प्राइस उसका फिक्स किया जाता है, तो 10 रुपए का प्रॉफिट मार्जिन है आपके पास। तो 10 प्रॉफिट मार्जिन को मैं अगर एक इंडिविजुअल सेलर हूं तो मैं उसको 9 रुपए रख के 19 रुपए में बेचूंगा, ताकि मैं ज्यादा बेच पाऊं। बट वेन आई डू सो, देयर वुड बी प्राइस वॉर। Once I decrease the price from 20 to 19, others may decrease it from 19 to 18. Somebody else may decrease it from 18 to 17, because still he has profit of rupees 7 per unit. And this is how there would be price war among all the sellers. That is why profit margins are kept very thin. Now, in this market, guys, sellers cannot even make a cartel or union, which happens in some other markets. सेलर्स यहाँ पे खुद यूनियन नहीं बना सकते हैं कि चलो डिसाइड करते हैं हम सब 20 में ही बेचेंगे, कोई भी 20 रुपए से कम में नहीं बेचेगा तो सब प्रॉफिट कमाए। ऐसा इसलिए नहीं कर सकते क्योंकि देर आर न्यूमरस सेलर्स। आप किस किस सेलर के पास जा पाओगे और किस किस को यूनियन में लेके आ पाओगे? यू कैन नॉट डू दिस। यूनियन कैन बी मेड व्हेन देर आर lesser number of sellers and not numerous. I hope you're understanding, guys. Have you got this, Himanshi, Priyansh?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Here, guys, one word will come from here. Here also, guys, I'm adding one more word here as profit margins are otherwise very thin. Please add this also. शुभ आप कर रहे हो या कुछ और कर रहे हो? Demand of the commodity in this market is perfectly elastic. So demand here is perfectly elastic. What does this mean? Perfectly elastic means, guys, even though price does not change, demand may change to any extent. And this is what happens in this market. Means, suppose all the sellers are selling a particular commodity at rupees 10. You go to a seller, you buy one unit or you buy 100 units, he will charge rupees 10 only per unit. He will not give you any discount at all. I hope you have understood this point, guys. So whether demand is 1 or 100, price will remain same. That is what makes demand perfectly elastic. Right, guys?
Yes, sir.
Demand of the commodity in this market. Here it is in. It means, guys, if you offer to a seller that you are going to buy more units, he will not give you any discount at all. He will charge the same price what he is charging for 1 unit of the commodity. Perfectly competitive market is a myth. It is not found in real world with all its features. You cannot find any market where you can find a market where there are numerous sellers and buyers, where all the sellers are selling the homogeneous product. That is, there is no difference in the product offered by different sellers, where you have free entry and exit. These three things you can find in the real world, but you cannot find this, that all the consumers have full information of the market and all the sellers have full information of the market. No, not possible. You cannot find a market in which there is no transportation cost. There is transportation cost. Yeah, you can find a market in real world where there is no advertisement expense, right? Since all these points are not found in one particular market, that is why a perfectly competitive market is only a myth. It is not found in real world. But a market akin to this, a market like this, you can see around, and that is vegetables market. And also the market of standard products. Whether I purchase pen, Flair pen or Renault pen in one stationery shop or another, I would be charged the same price. The same is in vegetable market. You cannot distinguish between the potatoes or tomatoes sold by different sellers. You cannot say that his potato are better than that of others. No, it is not possible. Until and unless one specific seller has very inferior quality of potato or tomato or any other vegetable. You will find that all the sellers in the market selling, those who are selling tomato, they all have the similar quality of tomato. Looking at tomato, you cannot say that this tomato is from this particular farm and this is from that particular farm. You cannot say that. The same is with all the standard products. You purchase a packet of Maggie from one general store or from other, the price would be same. Until unless you go to Metro or DMart. That is different story. I hope you all have understood, guys.
Yes, sir.
If it is a myth, then why it is there in your syllabus or what is taught? Because with perfect competition, you can understand many things about a real market, which we will see, guys, going ahead. Note down this, guys, all. Priyansh, hope you're understanding it, right? Priyansh, Manvi, Himanshi, and Aryan.
So,
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Any market other than perfectly competitive market is called imperfect market because there is no perfect competition in that market. We know that there is perfect competition only when there are numerous sellers and they all are selling absolutely same product, that is homogeneous product. So in imperfect markets, either there would not be numerous sellers, or if there are numerous sellers, then they all would not be selling homogeneous products but distinguished products. I hope you're understanding, guys. So now, guys, from here, after this, we will go back to our revenue chapter. This is what I wanted to tell you about forms of markets. We will continue with this chapter later, but first we have to finish revenue chapter, which we will see in our tomorrow's class.